Welcome, my dear friend, as the day gently fades and the world outside begins to hush its busy hum. Settle in, make yourself profoundly comfortable, perhaps adjusting your pillow, letting your body soften into the embrace of your bed. Allow your eyelids to grow heavy, if they haven't already, and simply rest. Tonight, we embark on a gentle journey into the heart of meditation, a practice as ancient as the human spirit, yet as relevant and vital as our very breath. Meditation, at its most fundamental, is a tender invitation. It is an invitation to train our attention, to cultivate a quiet, expansive awareness, and, in doing so, to softly detach from the relentless current of what we call discursive thinking. Imagine, if you will, your mind as a vast, open sky. Usually, this sky is filled with clouds of thoughts, worries, plans, judgments, memories, and anticipations. Discursive thinking is the mind's incessant chatter, the narrative it constructs, the constant processing and interpreting of our experiences, often running on autopilot, a ceaseless internal monologue. It's the voice that analyzes, critiques, plans for tomorrow, rehashes yesterday, and often, judges the present moment, even the very act of trying to quiet itself. Meditation offers us a gentle pathway to step back from this relentless parade of thoughts, not by force, not by suppression, but by cultivating a different kind of relationship with them. It allows us to observe these clouds of thought without feeling the compelling need to chase after each one, to get caught up in their stories, or to judge them as good or bad. Instead, we learn to witness them drifting across our mental sky, creating a space, a quiet, internal distance from their often turbulent nature. The profound aim of this practice, my friend, is to achieve a mentally clear, an emotionally calm, and a truly stable state. Think of it not as an absence of thought, but as a spaciousness around thoughts. It's like finding a tranquil clearing in a dense forest, a place where the air is still, the light filters softly through the canopy, and the incessant rustling of leaves quiets to a gentle whisper. This clarity isn't about emptying the mind, it's about seeing more clearly through the usual mental fog. The emotional calm arises naturally as we reduce our identification with the ups and downs of our internal narratives, finding a deeper wellspring of peace within. And stability? That is the anchor we find, a steady ground amidst the changing tides of life, an inner equilibrium that isn't easily swayed by external circumstances. Crucially, in this gentle exploration, there is no room for judgment of the meditation process itself. This is perhaps one of the most liberating aspects of the practice. There is no such thing as good meditation or bad meditation. There are only moments of practice. If your mind wanders 1,000 times, then you have 1,000 opportunities to gently, patiently, and without self-reproach, bring your attention back. Each return is a strengthening of the muscle of awareness, a testament to your resolve and kindness towards yourself. It's a process of becoming, not a destination to be achieved perfectly on the first try. So, let go of any expectations, any sense of needing to perform or get it right. Simply be. The techniques we use to cultivate this inner stillness are broadly classified into two beautiful approaches: focused, or concentrative, methods, and open monitoring methods. Let's first explore the focused methods, my dear friend. These involve gently, yet consistently, directing your attention to a specific object. This object acts as a gentle anchor, a point of return for your wandering mind. One of the most universally accessible and profound objects of focus is your breath. Close your eyes, if you haven't already, and just for a moment, bring your awareness to the subtle sensation of your breath. Feel the gentle rise and fall of your chest or abdomen. The cool air entering your nostrils, and the warm air leaving. There's no need to change your breath in any way, simply observe it as it is, in its natural, rhythmic dance. It's always there, a constant companion, a perfect anchor to the present moment. When your mind inevitably drifts away, as minds are wont to do, simply notice that it has wandered, and with the utmost tenderness, guide your attention back to the sensation of your breath. This is the essence of focused attention, a quiet practice of returning. Other focus techniques might involve the repetition of a mantra. A mantra is a word, a sound, or a phrase that is repeated silently or audibly. These ancient sounds, often imbued with deep spiritual significance, can act as a powerful focal point, occupying the discursive mind and allowing deeper layers of consciousness to emerge. The very word mantra comes from Sanskrit, meaning a tool for the mind, a vehicle to transcend the ordinary mental landscape. Whether it's a sacred syllable or a simple affirmation of peace, the rhythmic repetition can create a profound sense of calm and absorption, much like the gentle, repetitive lapping of waves on a shore eventually lulls us into a serene state. Then we have the open monitoring methods, which include practices like mindfulness and a broad awareness of mental events. Here, the focus isn't on a single object, but rather on observing the entirety of your present experience without attachment or judgment. Imagine sitting by a clear stream, watching everything that floats by: leaves, twigs, petals, reflections of the sky. You simply watch them pass, without reaching out to grasp them, without trying to change their course, without labeling them as good or bad. In open monitoring meditation, you observe your thoughts, your emotions, your bodily sensations, and the sounds around you, all as they arise and pass away, without getting entangled in their narratives. It's about cultivating a spacious, non-reactive awareness of whatever unfolds in the field of your consciousness. This allows us to see the transient nature of our experiences, realizing that thoughts and feelings are not who we are, but merely events passing through our inner landscape. Meditation, my dear friend, is not a new phenomenon. Its roots stretch back through millennia, woven into the very fabric of human spiritual and philosophical inquiry. The earliest records of these contemplative practices, referred to as dhyana, are found in the ancient Indian texts known as the Upanishads. These profound philosophical treatises, dating back thousands of years, explored the nature of reality, consciousness, and the self, laying the groundwork for many meditative traditions. Meditation plays a salient, central role in the contemplative repertoire of numerous profound religious traditions, Jainism, Buddhism, and Hinduism, to name a few, where it is often a pathway to spiritual liberation, enlightenment, and a deeper understanding of the divine. Beyond these Asian traditions, meditation-like techniques are also known and cherished in other profound spiritual lineages. In Judaism, practices of Kabbalah involve deep contemplation and visualization aimed at union with the divine. Within Christianity, the Hesychast tradition emphasizes repetitive prayer and mental quietude to achieve inner peace and a direct experience of God. And in Islam, particularly within Sufism, remembrance of God, ****, often involves rhythmic repetition of divine names, singing, and bodily movements, all designed to foster a state of profound devotion and spiritual absorption. So, while the techniques and specific aims might vary, the underlying impulse, to connect with a deeper reality, to find inner peace, to cultivate wisdom, echoes across diverse cultures and faiths. What is truly remarkable, however, is that these ancient, powerful Asian meditative techniques have gracefully spread to other cultures, where they have found application far beyond their original spiritual contexts. Today, meditation is practiced independently of any religious or spiritual influences, embraced for its immense health benefits. We see it integrated into business environments to enhance focus and reduce workplace stress, and most significantly, it has become a powerful tool in health and wellness, a testament to its universal efficacy. The scientific understanding of meditation's effects is burgeoning, and the research consistently highlights its extraordinary capacity to transform our well-being. Meditation may significantly reduce the burdens of stress, alleviating that pervasive tension that often accompanies modern life. It can soothe the anxieties that gnaw at our peace, diminish fear, and offer solace from the heavy weight of depression. For those who experience chronic pain, meditation has been shown to alter the brain's perception of pain, offering a pathway to greater comfort and resilience. But it's not just about what meditation reduces, it's also about what it enhances, what it cultivates. It can profoundly enhance our sense of inner peace, that quiet contentment that arises from within. Our perception, how we interpret and experience the world, can become clearer, sharper, and more compassionate. It can strengthen our self-concept, helping us to see ourselves with greater kindness and authenticity, fostering a healthier and more stable sense of self. And fundamentally, it enhances our overall well-being, enriching our lives in profound and holistic ways. Research is ongoing, a continuous exploration into better understanding the deep effects of meditation on our psychological landscape, our neurological pathways, and even our cardiovascular health, revealing more each day about this remarkable human capacity. Let us now gently turn our attention to the very word itself, meditation. The English term meditation finds its origins in the Old French meditation, which in turn sprang from the Latin meditatio. This Latin root comes from the verb meditare, which beautifully encompasses the meanings to think, to contemplate, to devise, to ponder. It's a word that speaks of a deliberate engagement with thought, a thoughtful turning inward. In the Catholic tradition, the use of meditatio as part of a formal, structured process of contemplation dates back at least to the 12th century monk Guigo II. Before this, the ancient Greek word theoria was often used for a similar purpose, referring to a deep, contemplative gaze, a spiritual or intellectual viewing. Interestingly, my friend, the term meditation was later introduced into English as a translation for the profound Eastern spiritual practices we've touched upon. In Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism, these practices are known as dhyana, a Sanskrit word. The root of dhyana is dhyai, which means, to contemplate or to meditate. It's fascinating to note that the Greek word theoria, which we just mentioned, actually derives from the same ancient Indo-European root as dhyai, suggesting a deep, shared human experience of profound contemplation across vast distances and different cultures. This etymological journey reminds us that the human impulse to turn inward, to ponder, to contemplate, is a universal thread woven through the tapestry of human history. So, when we use the word meditation, we are echoing a lineage of profound inner engagement, whether it be with philosophical ideas, spiritual truths, or simply the quiet observation of our own minds. Despite its rich history and widespread practice, my dear listener, defining meditation has proven to be quite a challenge, both for scholars and for everyday understanding. There is, in fact, no single, universally accepted definition for meditation, and this is primarily because it encompasses such a vast and diverse range of practices across myriad traditions and cultures. Think of it like trying to define art, it's a single war. For an incredibly broad spectrum of human creative expression. In popular usage, the word meditation and the phrase meditative practice are often used rather imprecisely. They can designate almost anything that claims to train the attention of the mind, or to teach calmness, or to foster compassion. While these are often outcomes of meditation, this broad usage can sometimes dilute the specificity and depth of the practices themselves. Within the modern scientific community, a precise definition with universally accepted, necessary and sufficient criteria for what constitutes meditation still remains elusive. This isn't a weakness, but rather a reflection of the profound richness and multifaceted nature of the practice. Part of the difficulty in precisely defining meditation also lies in recognizing the particularities of the many diverse traditions from which these practices emerge. Theories and practices can differ significantly even within a single tradition. As scholar Taylor noted, even within broad faiths like Hindu or Buddhist, various schools and individual teachers may offer distinct types of meditation, each with its unique nuances, approaches, and specific philosophical underpinnings. What might be called meditation in one lineage could look quite different from what is called meditation in another, even if both share a common aim of inner transformation. Ornstein, another insightful observer, noted something profoundly important. Most techniques of meditation do not exist as solitary practices but are only artificially separable from an entire system of practice and belief. This is a crucial philosophical point. Often, meditation is not just a standalone technique, a singular mental exercise performed in isolation. Instead, it is frequently embedded within a much larger, cohesive framework, a way of life, a moral code, a community, a worldview. For instance, consider the life of a monk. While monks engage in profound meditative practices as a core part of their daily existence, their meditation is not isolated. It's intimately intertwined with codified rules of conduct, with specific outcomes sought through their practice, with living communally in monasteries that have their own unique cultural settings, local rites, and rituals. All of these elements form a unified, holistic system of practices. To extract the meditation technique alone, without understanding its context, is to understand only a part of its true nature and purpose within that tradition. Even our common dictionaries attempt to capture this multifaceted nature, offering definitions that span its historical and contemporary uses. Dictionaries give us both the original Latin meaning of thinking deeply about something, reflecting its contemplative origins. They also provide popular contemporary usages, such as focusing one's mind for a period of time, or the act of giving your attention to only one thing, either as a religious activity or as a way of becoming calm and relaxed. And still further, they define it as to engage in mental exercise, such as concentrating on one's breathing or repetition of a mantra, for the purpose of reaching a heightened level of spiritual awareness. These definitions, while helpful, still hint at the broadness of the term. In modern psychological research, my dear friend, where the emphasis is often on measurable outcomes and replicable techniques, meditation has been defined and characterized in various ways, always striving for greater precision. Many of these scholarly definitions emphasize, once again, the critical role of attention. They characterize the practice of meditation as conscious attempts to gently detach from that reflexive, discursive thinking we spoke of earlier, the mind's habitual tendency to analyze, categorize, and narrate. A key element in these definitions, echoing our earlier point, is the notion of not judging the meditation process itself, sometimes referred to as logical relaxation. This non-judgmental stance is understood as a vital component for allowing the mind to genuinely unwind and settle. The ultimate goal within these psychological frameworks is often to achieve a deeper, more devout, or simply a more relaxed state, recognizing its therapeutic potential. For example, a group of researchers, Bond and colleagues, in 2009, undertook a rigorous study using a Delphi method with a panel of 7 experts in meditation research, all of whom were also trained in deep meditative practices. Their goal was to identify specific criteria for defining a practice as meditation, particularly for use in a comprehensive systematic review of the therapeutic use of meditation. This kind of work represents the scientific community's earnest efforts to bring clarity and standardization to the study of meditation, ensuring that research can be compared and built upon effectively. This endeavor, while challenging, underscores the profound importance and widespread interest in understanding meditation's benefits through a scientific lens. As we gently draw this exploration to a close for the night, I invite you once more to settle deeper into your own being. Let the words you've heard softly resonate, or simply drift away, whichever feels most peaceful. Remember that meditation is not about striving, but about allowing, not about perfection, but about presence. It is a profound act of self-care, a return to the quiet sanctuary within you. Allow your breath to be your anchor, a soft, rhythmic tide carrying you towards deeper rest. Let your body relax, releasing any remaining tension from your day, from your thoughts. Feel the support beneath you, the quiet stillness around you. May you drift into a night of profound peace, rejuvenation, and sweet, untroubled slumber. Good night, my dear friend. Sleep deeply, and awaken refreshed.